Book summary: She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. Overview: Mary Kubica's She's Not Sorry is taut, emotional, psychological thriller about secrets, guilt, and how the past never truly stays buried. Centered around Meghan Michaels, dedicated ICU nurse and single mother. The novel blends the harrowing intensity of medical drama with the gripping suspense of slow burn mystery. Kubica weaves multiple timelines, hidden motives, and escalating tension into a story that explores how far one woman will to protect those she loves and uncover the truth. Part 1: The Fall. Meghan Michaels is no stranger to chaos. Between raising her teenage daughter Sami and managing her high-pressure job as an ICU nurse, she is constantly on edge. But when Caitlin Beckett, young woman with traumatic brain injury, is admitted to her hospital after falling from bridge onto train tracks, Meghan's world tilts further off balance. Authorities label the incident suicide attempt. The fall was high enough to cause extensive damage, and Caitlin is now comatose. With no immediate family around and no note found, the case seems open and shut. But Meghan feels drawn to Caitlin. Perhaps because she sees in her young woman who could be her daughter one day, or perhaps because a past mistake Meghan has never quite forgiven herself for. She begins to visit Caitlin more than she should, speaks to her like she's conscious, and ultimately becomes emotionally invested in her fate. Part 2: The Doubt. Witness unexpectedly comes forward, an elderly man who says he saw someone push Caitlin from the bridge that night. With this new information, the hospital and police reopen the investigation. What once seemed like tragic suicide might now be attempted murder. As Meghan quietly begins to look into Caitlin's life, she discovers troubling signs. Caitlin had been acting paranoid in the weeks leading up to her fall. Her behavior changed dramatically at work, and she had ended romantic relationship recently. But the most unsettling discovery: series of warnings Caitlin had left. Cryptic messages, unsent texts, and notes indicating she feared someone close to her. Meghan starts to believe Caitlin was being stalked, and that stalker may be the person who pushed her. At the same time, Meghan's personal life spirals. Her daughter Sami is withdrawn and secretive, skipping school and hiding things. Meghan's overprotectiveness increases, exacerbated by the fear that whoever hurt Caitlin might still be out there and could target them next. Part 3: The Past resurfaces. As Meghan gets deeper into Caitlin's story, she begins to reflect on traumatic incident from her own past. Years ago, Meghan was indirectly involved in the tragic death of another young woman. Though she wasn't responsible, the guilt lingers. This emotional wound fuels her obsession with Caitlin's case. Saving Caitlin becomes symbolic. Way to finally forgive herself. Caitlin's life, it turns out, is tangled with secrets. Worked in group home for troubled youth and was preparing to blow the whistle on coworker who had been abusing patients. Meghan suspects this coworker may be responsible for her fall. But there's also Nick, Caitlin's ex-boyfriend. Charming man with dark undercurrent. Caitlin had filed restraining order against him, claiming he'd threatened her multiple times. Meghan's brief conversation with him only confirms her fears. When Meghan attempts to share her suspicion with the police, she's brushed off. Hospital administrators warn her to stop interfering, but Meghan can't let it go. Part 4: Closing in. As threats mount, an anonymous note, vandalized car, someone following her daughter. Meghan realizes she's being watched. Someone knows she's digging. Meghan finds an encrypted flash drive in Caitlin's belongings. On this footage Caitlin had recorded, documenting mistreatment at the group home and naming her abuser. Kalman is respected supervisor with political connections. Caitlin had planned to go public. The night she fell, she had just sent the files to her lawyer. The pieces click into place. Caitlin didn't jump. She was silenced, intense, and chilling confrontation. Meghan confronts Cal, only to discover that he has been manipulating her from the beginning. He knew she was investigating. He's been in her home, and now he's coming after her and Sami. Part 5: The Final Twist. Just as Kyle attempts to kill Meghan to cover his tracks, Caitlin miraculously wakes up. Though still weak, she's able to whisper a few words, enough to implicate him and corroborate Meghan's suspicions. The police arrest Kyle, and with the evidence from the flash drive, becomes airtight. Caitlin begins slow recovery. Meghan is hailed for her bravery, but her inner healing is more significant. For the first time in years, she allows herself to let go of the guilt she's carried. She reestablishes trust with Sami, who reveals she's been struggling with her own trauma. Secret Meghan never knew. In the end, She's Not Sorry isn't just about one fall from bridge. It's about all the emotional and moral descents we endure and the courage it takes to climb back. Themes: guilt and redemption. Meghan's internal arc is shaped by her desire to redeem herself for past mistakes. Her bond with Caitlin becomes symbolic. Second chance she didn't get before. Female solidarity and protection. The novel explores how women protect each other in a world where institutions often fail them. Meghan and Caitlyn's silent sisterhood drives the emotional core of the story. Motherhood under threat. The danger to Meghan's daughter. Urgency and personal stakes, reflecting how fear for child can amplify every instinct to fight and protect. Truth versus perception. At the heart of the thriller is the question of what really happened and how people manipulate appearances to control narrative structure and style. Kubica tells the story primarily through Meghan's first-person perspective, offering raw, intimate view into her thoughts, fears, and motivations. Interspersed are fragments of Caitlyn's past, pieced together through her writings, voice notes, and flashbacks. The pacing is tight, the chapters short and cliffhanger-laden, making it impossible to put down, as many book talk reviewers claim. The novel also uses medical realism and psychological tension to ground the story. The hospital setting heightens both vulnerability and stakes, giving the narrative an immersive and urgent feel. Conclusion. She's not sore. Mary Kubica at her best. Gripping, emotionally rich, and full of jaw-dropping twists. More than a mystery, it's study in trauma, resilience, and the quiet power of women who refuse to stay silent. Whether you're drawn to emotional thrillers, strong female leads, or narratives that keep you guessing until the last page, this is a book that delivers on every level.